Hello, good evening and welcome. Welcome to this amazing call. And today we are talking about emotional intelligence. Good evening. Let's see. I'm having some echo somewhere. I'm having some echo. So let's see. Let's do this. Um, Let me share my screen. Let me share my screen. It's just a quick one. It was uh, it was on request. I make this. So welcome so much. And we'd like us to talk about emotional intelligence. What is emotional intelligence? Is this just a recap? Is it 2 hours ago? I was having this conversation with members of the Kenya Veterinary Board. So this is emotional intelligence is the ability. It is the ability to recognize, the ability to recognize, understand, and manage one's own emotions. The ability for you as a person to recognize that you're very happy, you're very excited, you're very mad, yeah, and you're very much worried, and understanding what it means and managing that. How do you manage your happiness? How do you uh, manage your anxiety? How you manage those emotions? As well as how to recognize, understand, and influence emotion of others. Yeah, in every business we do, I'm not able to get um, like a profession that doesn't involve that does not involve interactions with people. However, for you to be of a person of high emotional intelligence, you need to have be able to understand your own emotions, recognize them, and manage them as well as for others. And this is involves having feelings for other people, feeling for them, being empathetic, self-awareness, recognizing your own emotions, regulating those emotions, social awareness. This is in relation to the people surrounding you, in relationship management. All that involves emotional intelligence. And this one, it plays a very critical, a crucial role in your personal and professional success, as it impacts how individuals navigate social interactions, handle stress, communicate effectively, and also make decisions. That is the most crucial thing or role of emotional intelligence. And what is the power of this emotional intelligence? This is just to highlight that emotional intelligence is physiologically controlled and also anatomically controlled or located. And this is what we mean. This is what we mean. The prefrontal cortex in the brain, it is emotional intelligence center. So that one tells you emotional intelligence is anatomically regulated, it is physiologically regulated. And it is where you realize that you are feeling what you are feeling, processing that information, and deciding the action to take. For example, recognizing that you're very much excited, you're very happy, processing that to know why am I very happy, why am I very excited, why am I very anxious, and then from there you take action accordingly. Everything we see, we smell, we hear, we taste and touch travels through our body, through electronic signals, through sensory neurons, through motor neurons and interneurons and all that. Yeah, all these messages which pass through the neurons, they are electric in nature. And these signals pass from cell to cell until they reach their ultimate destination, which is the brain. For example, if you have sense of smell, it moves from your nose all the way to passes all those the sense of smell, nerve, yeah, all the way from those cells all the way to the brain. Yeah, and I know we all know that is how physiologically our body functions. And they enter the brain at the base near our spinal cord, but must travel through travel to our prefrontal cortex, which is behind your forehead, and before any rational thinking takes place. Yeah, and like I know you've appreciated that physiologically, emotional intelligence and anatomically, emotional intelligence is well regulated, and they have to pass through the limbic system along the way. And this is where the emotions are produced. I want to show you this is what I mean. We say these electric signals, all this information from all our senses, they enter through the brain, through the spinal cord, at the base, all the way where the energy, where the rational thinking is, where the information and action has to be interpreted and be taken place. But what we are saying is this information that is entering the brain through the spinal cord, all the way to the rational, it has to pass through the limbic system. And the limbic system is where our emotions are controlled. And that is the foundation, or that is the engine of emotional intelligence. And the rational area of the brain, which is the front of the brain, can't stop the emotional, the felt, or the limbic system. These two areas influence each other, and they have to have constant information. And the communication them between the two brains is the physical source of emotional intelligence. And the more information that flows between these brain regions, we are able to understand our emotions, respond to them effectively, and then use it for our benefit. That is what we are saying. There has to be communication between the limbic system and the rational system, because we feel before we act, or we feel before we function. And this is a reason why by we found ourselves having these thoughts, or even writing bad words on social media for someone, and then after a few minutes you realize that you've done a mistake, and then you delete that message. That is what we are talking about: communication between your limbic system and your rational thinking area. They have to have constant communication for you to say that you are a person of high emotional intelligence. So when we come back again, we look at why emotional intelligence is very important. Let me see from the chat. Enjoying, who is having fun this evening of ours is tonight. So thank you so much. Let me know your comments in the comment section. Thank you and God bless you.